on that story shortly. Also, almond sales as well, a record there in regards to almonds. We'll find out what's been happening in that industry too very shortly as well. But first up, a report card on the carbon market has found that there's a strong consensus on the need to reach net zero by 2050. But urgent action is needed in the push for renewable energy and carbon payments that could provide financial incentives to drive faster change. John Connor from the Carbon Market Institute says the economic costs of inaction vastly outweigh the required investment, according to bodies like the International Monetary Fund. He says taking these essential extra steps will involve the use of carbon markets to tap into carbon stored on the farm, in the soil and in the vegetation, and might help in that fight against climate change and biodiversity loss.
This report is looking at some of the broader aspects of both industrial, agricultural and land-based changes that we need to get to the net zero that can help us play a role in minimising the climate impacts and costs. And one of the charts I've got at the start of it is the really escalating costs if we don't take action. That needs a global cost from the International Monetary Fund as well, which is why nations are actually, in uneven ways, they are working and committed towards net zero, while we still have bipartisan commitments to net zero. And so the report looks at a range of few things, in particular deal with the role of the land sector that we will need there. Even though if we do get on with the broader industrial decarbonisation, there's still a key role for agriculture to reduce emissions, but also the land to play a role through sequestering carbon, pulling it out of the atmosphere and vegetation and soils, potentially also other geological storages. So that's another issue that's live out there. One of the contributors to climate work says that that we might need to increase eightfold the land-based sequestration, and so there's some discussion. What does that mean? We need to have some good policy across government and build on social capital and some of the challenges that we are working through right now with the market as it is.
Talking about the roadblocks though, I mean landholders in terms of transmission lines and towers and things like building towers to spread the renewable energy, around the nation in a better way. Do you see that government has to fast track some of that? And some communities are not necessarily going to be happy with that at the end of it?
Well, I think this is a big transition. Some have been talking, and we've got the Prime Minister was launching a bigger fund, and the Future Made in Australia Act. So, many say this is a bigger transition as we've had since the Industrial Revolution, and that's and it's